This is tedious. Somebody asked me a few days ago, Teddy, how can I print or save my text messages from my iPhone or my Android? And I had to do a lot of research to figure out the best answer I could come up with. Now, before I share with you the ideas that I have to offer, please, if you like this channel, if it's useful to you in any way, subscribe to the channel. There's more to come. If you like this one video, hit the like button on the video so that I know that you saw it. And if you have any question, do not hesitate to comment on the video, ask me any question, and I'll answer it for you. First of all, there is no feature in Apple messaging or Android messaging to be able to print or save your text messaging. Now, there are third-party apps, and there is the ability to archive on the Android phone, but there is no way to, it's simply on your cell phone to be able to print, save, or export messages without using some of those third-party apps that I'm not going to promote here. But I do have a few ideas that may be able to help. So let's first start with on the iPhone. And by the way, this also applies to the Android. Again, this is an answer. It might be a crude answer, but it's an answer just to say. And that is, on the iPhone, you can go to your messages, and on the Android, you can turn on screen capture. And while you're looking at the messaging, let me get one I can look at here. While you're looking at the messaging, you can go all the way to the top, get all the way to the top, which if you have a long thread, it's going to take a long time to get all the way to the top. And once you're at the top, start the record and scroll down slowly. Now, all you're going to be able to capture, by the way, is the text and the imaging. You are not going to be able to capture the videos or the links that are in this. You're only going to be able to capture what you're visually seeing. Now, wait a minute. I guess if I do get to a video and I'm doing a recording, I could probably, I could play the video and capture it in the recording. So that may actually work, but it's going to capture that video in the new video that you're recording. Again, this is a crude method, but it may get you what you're looking for. I'm going to give you, by the way, at the end here, I'm going to tell you one of the pitfalls to this whole idea. Now, another thing you could do is the proverbial screenshot. We all know that. You just take a screenshot, save it, forward it, whatever it is you want to do. That's another tactic you can do on the iPhone and the Android. Now, let me go to the third idea. The third idea, and which only applies to iPhone at this point, I could not find a way to do this with Android, is to have on your MacBook, have the Messages app, which, by the way, the Messages app only works on a Mac or does not work on a PC. But I can bring up all of my messaging on the Mac, exactly what I have on my iPhone, and this is pretty cool. I can go to any message, no matter how long it is. I'll give you the pitfall of that in a minute. And I can do File, Print, and I can print this entire thread of discussions. Not only can I print it to a printer, but I can also save it as a PDF, and it will capture everything that I see on the screen for that message. And so if you have a thread, let me go find another thread here. You know, this thread here is fairly long. I can do File, Print, and you'll see down here, it's 5 pages. It'll capture all 5 pages. Now, by the way, this only works for iPhone messaging, Apple messaging, in the Apple Messages app on your Mac. By the way, you cannot put the Apple Messages app on a PC. Now, here's one of the challenges with this idea of printing your Apple Messages from your iPhone through the Apple Messages app on your MacBook. This thread right here goes on and on forever. It's probably a couple years old. any long thread you have, whether it's a couple years, a couple months, or a couple weeks, any thread that you have that you want to print using this feature I'm about ready to share with you, you have to scroll all the way to the top. It will only print as far back as you've scrolled up. So I have to scroll all the way to some point, whether it's all the way to the top or all the way to the top of that conversation. And once I get to the point and I stop, that is all this is going to print. When I hit File, Print, the app is going to cache up all of these messages in this thread to this point. So anything that I had before this, anything before where I stop, it is not going to include in the print. I did this a few minutes ago. It took 20 minutes because I went all the way back to January of 2026, and it still took forever, but it only captured from, in this case, let's say I stopped right here on June 7th, it would not get anything before June 7th. So be aware of the fact that in order to make this work, you have to scroll all the way up to the point where you want to capture it, print it. And then and this is June 2nd, then when I do File, Print, it's still going to take a long time for the app to cache that, put it together in such a way that it can print or save to PDF. But then when you click on print or click on save to PDF, it's going to take a long time again. So the suggestion here is be patient. So bottom line, I got a couple solutions. Number one, do a recording of your screen as you view the text message thread. Go all the way to the top and then scroll down to get to it so it's in chronological order. That's one option on iPhone and Android. Option number two, we all know about. Just do screenshots of the pieces of the thread that we want to do a screenshot on. Option number three only works on Apple products, iPhone messaging with the Apple messaging app on my MacBook, not on a PC, but I can bring up a message. As I'm viewing the message, I can click on File, Print. I can print it to the printer or print it to a PDF. But again, it will only print as far back as you have scrolled, and this is a big issue in really long threads. By the way, on Android, you can have the Android messaging, the Google messaging. You got to, on a PC, you have to pair your Android phone to your PC and Google messaging. It's a really simple way of doing that, and that will allow you to look at your Android messaging on the PC. However, when I was looking at it on my daughter's PC, there is no print functionality. There is an archive feature, but there's no print. The solution there, again, would be a third-party app that I am not going to represent or support at this time. I'm Teddy. I'm all about helping you overcome the risks and fears of using technology, and I hope this is useful for you in some way or another.